to be published next Tuesday morning, the guys will be talking about the consequences of your choices. It kind of ties right into what we talked about today, about being the oddball. Well, the oddball forces you out of your shell, and now you've got to make some decisions, and there are consequences, okay? Here's why consequences of your choices have a negative connotation. Why do people tend to procrastinate when it comes to making a decision? Many become frozen in their tracks and unable to decide which way to go, what to do, and what they should or shouldn't do regarding something. What are they afraid of? They are afraid of consequences. While most people think that consequences are bad or negative, they are not. There are positive consequences to a situation or decision and negative consequences to others. It could be both. So why do people focus on negative consequences in their decision making? And that's what we're going to talk about next week. But a little heads up on how this actually works and what gets you in a situation like this. First of all, here's my question. Why do people feel that consequences are negative? And I mean, most people feel like, oh, there's consequences. I can't go there. I can't do that. You know, there's consequences. Why are they afraid of the consequences when there are consequences no matter which way you choose, right? And it's almost like, and I sat with this and felt this come through, and this is what it's like when you channel your guides. This is, you sit and you feel what it feels like, and you let that translation come through, and that's from your guides, all right? That's channeling, you guys. And what it is consequences. Being afraid of consequences was something that was big on your plate in previous lifetimes. In other words, penalties for, let's say people go bankrupt. Nowadays they file for bankruptcy and they're back on their feet the next day. There's a few consequences that go with it, but the upside is much greater when they can walk away from that burden and rather than carry it with them throughout their lifetime than it is to just put an end to the pain, you know, end it with the bankruptcy and be done with it. Okay. So consequences, there's consequences. It'll take you a little time to get your credit up and running, but the relief is greater and better than having that burden on you as you continue to try to pay on something you'll never seem to get over, all right? So there's consequences. So why are people afraid? Divorces. Okay, if you're not in a good relationship, it's not good for you. It's making you sick, okay? Well, then you've got an option where you can get a divorce and you can stay in it. There's consequences either way, all right? So now you got to make it on your own. Can you make it on your own? Or, you know, do you stay in a relationship just because it's financially a sound thing to do? That's a consequence. There's a consequence no matter what you do. So the way I feel about consequences is we came in from another lifetime, okay? We came through this lifetime to work these things out. And previous lifetimes, the consequences were so severe that you couldn't even imagine stepping out into that and going, okay, I'm gonna make a decision. There's consequences here. There's consequences there. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Before, there was debtor prison. You couldn't get out of debt. You couldn't get out of a marriage unless both sides agreed. You were trapped, okay? Now, you guys are free. You've decided to come into a lifetime that offered you freedom, okay? Why are you concerned about consequences? You carried it over from previous lifetimes. The punishment was too great. But that's not true now. So we're going to talk about that next week, you guys. You're free and you didn't know it, all right?